Hello everyone. So I taught this B and R strategy on my live section, and my free mentees made money from this in less than 24 hours. So I'm going to show you how exactly I got to this state and how I did the strategy. Okay, so stay tuned. So first things first, guys, this strategy only works if you know change of character. If you know when to identify a change of character in the market, this strategy is for you. Okay, that is the whole key point of this entire strategy. First and foremost, you need to understand that the market needs to be changing from either an uptrend to a downtrend, or from a downtrend back to an uptrend. Okay, now, like I said, this strategy only works for change of character. The first step in this strategy, you need to know your market structure. If you don't know anything about market structure, or you're just watching this video for the very first time, or you're a new trader, just Google market structure or go to Baby Pips on YouTube and learn market structure. Firstly, we're going to identify our market structure, because for we to have a change of character, the market needs to be moving from one trend to another. So we're going to identify our market structure. I'm going to start with this I. That is going to give us a low. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to use red lines, or red horizontal lines as my higher high, and I'm going to use green horizontal lines as my higher low. Okay, I don't have to identify them for you to see word by word. Okay, so we're going to move from this low to this high, because remember, for you to have a break of structure, the market needs to break your most recent high with the body of a candle. Okay, for those that still don't know what I'm talking about, you can research on it or you can browse about it. For those that understand what I'm saying, just keep watching the video. So from this new high, we have the next low here. This is the next low here. Then from this next low, the market couldn't break it. That is why you have the market couldn't break it. That is why you have this over here. The market broke it with a wick, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the body of a candle. Okay, so finally, after much movement, the market broke it, and we have this. So we're moving from there, and we're going to put from this high our next low. So from this next low, we have to look for the next high, which is this. And from this next high, we have to look for our next low, which is this. So now we've done our market structure perfectly, very clean, very smooth. And now here is where the entire strategy comes in. Okay, firstly, you look for your market structure. Next step, you need to identify where the change of character took place. Okay, so I'm just going to elongate certain higher lows I have done before, just for clarity. So now I know majority of you think change of character is when the market break one higher low, but that's not what it is. Okay, change of character literally is when market breaks two higher lows. So this is my first higher low, this is my first higher low, and this is my second higher low. So this is the point where there is a change of character. I'm just going to move this circle because I've already explained why I placed it there. So this is my change of character. I hope at this point you understand what I'm saying. That is my change of character, where the market moved from this high, broke the first higher low and the second higher low. So this point is the change of character. Okay, I'm going to delete this now so we can continue. That's a change of character. So the next step, remember the steps. First step, market structure. Second step, identify your change of character. Third step, you need to know where the change of character ended, which is the market that moved from the high, broke the first low and the second higher low. Where did it end? Ours ended here. That place is what I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying the end of the change of character. That is what I want you to identify. Where the change of character ended, the market that moved and changed the trend from an uptrend to a downtrend. Where did it stop before it retraced? That is where I want you to take note of, and this is it. this over here. I'm going to just put another circle, but it's going to be another color. I'm going to change the color, this. So let's make it blue. So this blue place we've marked, which is the end of the change of character, is going to be known as our exit point. So we're going to put exits. We can also say or our TP. So we're going to move it. I need to change I need to make it 18. Yeah. So you understand what I'm saying. So this is going to be our TP or our exit point, okay? Remember the step again. First and foremost, market structure. Secondly, identify your change of character. Thirdly, identify where the change of character ended, where the market moved to after changing character, where it ended, where it stopped before retracing or before it starts retracing. That is where you want to place as your TP or your exit point, okay? So after identifying your exit point, you need to identify your entry zone. Remember, it's not about knowing where to exit, it's also knowing where to enter that matters as well when taking simple strategies, okay? So remember, like I said on my live, I don't know if you are just coming in here, like I said on my live, our entry points are always going to be the second higher high before the most recent higher high and the last higher low, okay? So you know the market broke 1, 2. This is the first higher low and this is the second higher low the market broke, okay? So we want our entry point to be in between the second higher high and the first higher low, okay? Remember, let me repeat it again. This is the second higher high before the most recent higher high, okay? And this is the first higher low we have that the market broke, and this is the second higher low the market broke. So your entry point is always between or around this second higher high and the first higher low, okay? So since this is together, I'm just going to draw one horizontal line. Sometimes you might not see them together. When I mean you might not see them together, I mean you might not get a close one like this, which is the higher high might be somewhere, let me say the higher high might be somewhere around here, the next low might be somewhere around here. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is you put one rectangle here, put another rectangle here, okay? So you know that if market breaks the first one, you know where next the market is heading to. That's how you pick valid zones. Do you understand? So let's continue. Since we have identified our second higher high and our first higher low, we need to mark that point as what? Our entry zone. So this is our entry zone, okay? So this means what this actually gives us is that we know where the market is going to retrace to. That is what it gives. It gives us this feeling of, okay, now I know where the market has ended, where the change of character ended, which is that is going to be my TP. But where can I enter from? This is where you can enter from, your entry zone. Once you've marked out your entry zone, remember, like I said, it is not always going to come close like this. It's not always going to come close like this, but you need to know that you need the second higher high and the first higher low. Those are the areas the market will usually retrace back to. So you need to know around those areas, okay? So you need to be very, very, very attentive. Once you mark them out like this, I'm marking it with one horizontal, one rectangle because they are close together, okay? And when marking this, you mark both their wicks and the body of the candle when marking these areas, because sometimes market might just retrace back to the wick and move from there. Sometimes it's going to get into the bodies of the candles around that zone. Do you understand? After identifying your entry zone, the next step you need to do is look for confirmation candlesticks. Now, let's retrace everything again. Let's talk about everything from the beginning. What's the first step you need to do? Market structure. After looking for market structure, what's the next step you need to do? Change of character, identifying the change of character. After identifying change of character, what is the next step you need to do? Identify where the change of character ended. The market that changed character, that led to the change of character, where did it end before it started pulling back or before retracing, before taking a pullback? You identify that spot as your TP or as your exit zone. Okay, after identifying your exit zone, what next do you need to identify? Your entry zone, where you want to enter. And where are your entry zones? Okay, the second higher high and your first higher low. After identifying the zones, what next do you need to do? You need to wait for market to pull back to that area. Okay, if you're taking this live, you are doing this analysis live, you need to wait for market to pull up back to your entry zone, okay, or around your entry zone. When market gets there, how will you enter? How will you now say, okay, market don't reach my entry zone now, I want to enter? That's what you do next. You look for confirmation candlesticks, and you need to look for your confirmation candlesticks in another time frame, a lower time frame. Do you understand? Remember, we're doing this analysis on 1 hour, so you need to look for your confirmation candlesticks in a lower time frame. So let's move to 30 minutes. Okay, so my I don't know, I think my service is a bit slow. So now we are going to expand and try to pick a confirmation candlestick. So from what you are seeing, remember, this is our entry zone, guys. This is our entry zone, and this is when the market pulled to our entry zone. Now I want you to look attentively. The market has moved. The market has moved. It has gotten to our entry zone. Now, from this entry zone, what confirmation candlestick can you see from this point that would attract you into getting into the market to sell? Let me widen this up so you look at it very well. I hope what I'm seeing is what you're seeing as well. What confirmation candlestick here, over here, gives you this cool sensation that, okay, I don't know what your name is, so I'm going to use my name. Okay, Pamela, it is time for you to get into this market. Move on. The market has given you signal. I am seeing a shooting star or an inverted hammer. Okay, that's what I am seeing. I'm going to try and... So this is what I see. Okay, this is my confirmation candlestick. This is what is telling me, Pamela, move. Pamela, the market has given you signal. Get in and make your money. Okay, and what I need you to understand is, after seeing your confirmation candlestick, you do not enter immediately. After seeing your confirmation candlestick, you need it to close, and you need to wait for the next candle to pop up. Okay, because the next candle will usually go halfway around your confirmation candlestick before moving to your direction. Okay, so you just need your next candle to pop up. Once the next candle pops up, wait for it to go at least halfway around the confirmation candlestick, then you get in. And after getting in, remember, you need to put stop loss. Okay, your stop loss should be above your confirmation candlestick or above your entry zone. It doesn't really matter. Above the entry zone, above the confirmation candlestick, that doesn't matter anymore, because as long as it's above your confirmation candlestick, you can ride it to the exit smooth and clean. Okay, so I'm going to shrink this back so you understand what we did here. Can you see how smooth this is? Can you see how smooth this is? Once the market got to your entry zone, you look for a confirmation candlestick and you get in. Now, once you confirm your confirmation candlestick, you make sure you enter the next candle. After it has moved halfway, you can put your stop loss above the entry zone. You can put your stop loss. You can put your stop loss above your confirmation candlestick. It doesn't really matter. As long as your stop loss is above the confirmation candlestick, that is good to go. If you want to put it above your entry zone, that is also perfect. That has nothing, no issue at all. So now, let's return back to our 1 hour. Now, this is what we have. Do you see how clean this is? Can you see how clean this is? This strategy works anytime the market is changing character. Anytime for consistent pairs. You know, some pairs are mad, but if you have a consistent pair that obeys market structure, this would give you lots of money. When I taught it on live, So many people made a lot of money from it in less than 24 hours. I'm going to put the clips here as I'm talking. Okay, so now we're going to reverse, and we will start naming the steps again, so you remember, so you have it at the back of your mind, and so you can write it down on your journal, on your book, whatever it is. Okay, first step, identify market structure. After identifying market structure and marking out your market structure, after marking out your market structure, first step, mark out your market structure. Second step, identify your change of character. After identifying your change of character, what is the third step? You need to identify where the change of character ended, where the market stopped that led to the change of character, that movement that led to the change of character. The movement that led to the change of character, that led to the breaking of two higher lows. Where did it end? Over here. It ended here. You are going to mark that spot as what? Your exit zone or your TP. That is your exit zone or your TP. After marking that out, you need to wait for a retracement back to your entry zone. So now, my entry zone, how do I identify where I'm going to enter this trade, where I'm going to take this trade? Your entry zone is usually your second higher high and your first higher low before the change of character. The second higher high you have and the first higher low you have before the change of character. If they are close by, you can use one rectangle to mark out the zone. If you're not together, if you're far apart, use one rectangle to mark out the zone for the second higher high and the zone for the first higher low. Okay, so if market breaks one, you know where next market is heading to, and you are going to prepare yourself. After identifying your entry zone, what's the next step you need to do? You need to look for your confirmation candlestick, because remember, the market now has retraced and gotten to your zone. Now you want to enter so that you write it down to your TP. So what do you look out for? Your confirmation candlesticks. And remember, confirmation candlestick can be different. You might have a bullish Arami, a bearish Arami. It could be pin bar. It could be inverted armor. It could be engulfing candlesticks. It doesn't really matter. Okay, but you need to have a confirmation candlestick at that junction, at your entry point. After getting a confirmation candlestick, the next thing you need to do is get in after the confirmation candlestick, put your stop loss above your confirmation candlestick or above your zone, and write it down to your TP. That's all you need. So I hope this strategy helps somebody. I hope you understand this, because I have done this a billion times and it works perfectly. It works so well, so smooth, simple steps. It's not hard to identify in the market, in the charts. Very simple. And this can be done in any time frame. Okay, this can be done in any single time frame of your choice. Okay, like I was saying, the last thing I want to drop is, please, after identifying this strategy, after getting to the market, after making your money, don't get into the market again. This should be it. Don't get into the market again. Okay, just let it be. You've gotten into the market, you've used the B&R strategy, you've gotten in and you've made your money, and get out. Okay, because if you're going to continue taking parts of if you are going to continue taking money from the market, you can't use B&R again. B&R is only valid for change of character, and you've milked this change of character money, so nothing else. Don't get in anymore. You can look for any other strategies and get into the market. Okay, B&R works for just change of character. Please don't mix it up. Don't do anything else. Don't complicate it. Don't look for any other thing. This is how it's being done. These are the steps. Easy peasy. Okay, so that's all I have to say in regards to those that are always asking, after the B&R, can we enter again? Please, no, don't. Okay, you can use this strategy for 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 4 hours. As long as there's a change of character, you can use this strategy. Okay, so I hope you understand that, and that is clear. So if you don't understand this fully, or you need more strategies, more simple strategies like this that is going to be giving you lots of money, all you need to do is what? Send me B&R, and I'm going to get down on business with you. Okay, and you should know that if you need simple strategies like this, that's why you need to go for mentorship. But anyways, it's a free world, mentorship or not. Send me DM B&R. Just DM me B&R. Okay, for more detailed explanation or for more clarifications, or if you have questions. Okay, remember, I give mentorship. I have a group mentorship, I have a private mentorship, So if you want more simple strategies, you can use on synthetic indices that is going to give you lots and lots of cool cash. DM me, okay? Remember, send me a DM. B and R. I'm going to see you guys in my next live and in my next video. Just be sending me, in fact, all of you be sending me a screenshot of all the money you are making with this strategy. That's what I need. Come back to this video, comment and say, Coach Pamo, I made money will be an arrow. Coach Pamo, I made money will be an arrow. That's what I want to hear. Just the money, I made money, okay? So I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.